life.
Retard.
So we need to know that hell goes on forever. Now, some posit that hell does not go on forever, but the thing is, the problem with that is, if hell doesn't go on forever, how does heaven go? How does heaven go on forever? Eternal is the same word in the Greek, aeonis. It means it goes on forever. To sit there and say it doesn't mean forever for hell, how can you say it means forever for heaven? Forever, O Lord, thy word is settled in heaven. Okay? It goes on forever, period. Turn back to Deuteronomy. Heaven and hell both go on forever. Deuteronomy chapter 32. For I lift up my hand to heaven. I lift up my hand to heaven and say, live forever. It's forever. Moses is going to heaven. He's already in heaven. My point is, when he wrote this, he understood he was going to heaven. Eternal life is eternal. It goes on forever. It never stops. Now turn over to John. John chapter 6. And this is what the Bible teaches. We don't need to be watering it down by any means. John chapter 6 talks about heaven. Talks about everlasting life in many verses. But it actually says live forever. Look at this. Look at verse 58. So the reason I'm even pointing this out is that you're either going to live forever in heaven with God the Father, Jesus Christ, with all the saints, with angels, or you're going to live, and there's a lot more to it than that. But I'm not teaching on heaven right now. I can get into some details about heaven. I've got other sermons I'm going to do on that, and I've already done sermons previously. But the Bible makes it clear that we're either going to be in heaven forever or hell forever. This is that bread which came down from heaven, not as your fathers did eat manna and are dead. He that eateth of this bread. Now keep in mind, eating of this bread is symbolic for believing. It does not mean you have to literally eat something. Okay, so many people are accusing. Lost people want to accuse God and the Bible of teaching cannibalism or teaching some type of cannibalistic ritual. He that eateth of this bread, it's somehow you believed on Christ, it's symbolic, but it says shall live forever. Shall live forever. That's heaven. Because it's the living Father who gives this bread. And I am that bread of life, Jesus Christ said. You eat of the bread that Jesus Christ gives you, you're going to live forever. You'll never thirst. The Bible makes that clear. You're never going to hunger. You're never going to thirst in a spiritual way. Now let's go over some of the horrible scriptures. They're not horrible scriptures, but they give a horrible description of hell. They describe hell in a way that's quite shocking to some people, and it's quite unnerving. But nevertheless, it doesn't matter. The Bible is the Bible. You either believe it or you don't. Now, I want to preach right now that the hell is a literal place. It's not some metaphorical place. Some people are teaching or postulating that hell is just some type of fictive. It's kind of a metaphor. It's not really a place of everlasting fire and everlasting torment and burnings. And I'm going to prove that wrong in this sermon. And I've already proven that with the everlasting fire, but I'm going to go over some more verses on that. It's not a place. It's not a metaphor. It's not separation from God. I don't care what Billy Graham and whoever says it. It's separation from God. No, it's not separation from God. It's wrath. It's punishment. It's torment, and it's horrible. Turn to 2 Thess. Here's why people do that. They call hell the bad place. Or they call it, separation from God. They're trying to water this whole doctrine down. That's why they're doing it. They're trying to water it down. They're trying to water the Bible down. They want their hell to be a little bit, cooler. It's not going to work. The Bible does not teach, that hell's separation from God, or it's just a not so bad. It's just a not so good place or something. No, the Bible calls it what it calls it. And it calls it everlasting destruction. It calls it torment. Let's turn over to the verse I was going to go to is actually in 2 Thessalonians chapter 1. Look at verse 8. In flaming fire, taking vengeance on them that know not God. So that's talking about hell. Hey, the people in hell don't know God in the salvific sense. They may know who God is, and they may know He's holy and just. They may have mocked Him and ridiculed Him and spat on the Bible and sit there and said, "I don't believe in this God." I've met people right now that were hellbound, and some of them are already in hell. And I'm talking to some horrible people out there, wicked people. I don't know. Most people they live a sheltered life. A lot of these people, I believe, that teach lordship salvation, some type of works-based salvation, where you got to live a certain way to go to heaven, and it's all about